As many of you have probably discovered, the guitar fretboard is a tricky thing to navigate. We got 6 strings, and on this guitar we got 22 frets. And that's 132 opportunities to play different notes. And that's a lot to navigate when you're just trying to shred a solo. The best way to conquer the fretboard is through limitations. And what do I mean by that? In this exercise, we're going to use frets 7 through 10 on these top 3 strings. And we're just going to play a G major scale like this. Now that's not a full G major scale, that actually starts on D, but we're just playing the notes because we're doing limitation practice. There are many applications of this limitation practice that you can use. The first one is through scales. And now this brings up a popular argument between using 5 pattern scales or 3 note per string scales. And I would argue that you should learn both, because the guitar fretboard is super tricky and you want to be able to look at it any way possible. When learning these scales, you don't want to start with just an entire scale like this. That's a good way to practice, but it's very limiting when you're trying to solo. You want to start off with single string scales like this. After single string scales, you want to do the exercise we did earlier and just pick a small part of the fretboard and do like 2 or 3 strings. And we'll do that exercise again from frets 7 to 10 on the top 3 strings. The next step in this limitation practice is arpeggios and triads. To practice arpeggios, we'll start with single string arpeggios like we did with scales. And then we'll do 2 string and 3 string all the way until we get all the strings. The next step you want to do is triads. And we'll do a C major triad on the top 2 string sets like this. The last category to use for this limitation practice is in soloing. When you practice soloing, use the exercise we used at the beginning and limit yourself to frets, say 7 through 10 on the top 3 strings. Practice soloing in that area until you're comfortable, and then when you're comfortable in that area, just practice the bottom 3 strings. Combine them when you feel comfortable, and then when you've conquered that area, practice the same spot in every other fret set on the guitar. If you want these exercises written out, they're available at KankakeeRivermusic.com. And I'll see you guys in the next video.